So, I finally got all the golden eyes in Towerfall Dark World. Well, actually, I've had all the golden eyes for like a while now, but 3 of them I didn't record, so for all you guys know, I could have just cheated at them. So, after I finally got the last golden eye, I redid those 3, and for some reason the Amaranth took me way too long to re-get. Anyway, point is, all of these videos are on my hard drive now. So, yep. It's time to show you guys them all. I'll do some commentary here and there, but all the golden runs last around 7.5 minutes a pop, and the Dark Gauntlet lasts 11 minutes. I'm not going to commentate for all the 40 minutes, so feel free to watch it at 2 times speed. It might be hard to follow, but at least it'll be around 20 minutes. So now I'm playing the Amaranth. This is the deathless run for it. I kind of explained that commentary brain does not commentate. So deal with it. Anyways, yeah, this is the one where this is the first one that you usually play. However, for some reason it's kind of the second most difficult one to Legendary, which is not very intuitive because you'd expect it to go, first one is the easiest and then they get progressively harder, but it's kind of all over the place in difficulty. But yeah. Fun fact, like, most of the golden runs die within the first 3 waves, which is pretty annoying. Like, this wave, if I got past the second wave, this is the wave that would usually kill me. They're called levels, but level doesn't really make sense. Like, when you hear level, you think like 1-1 in Mario or whatnot. This is like... Okay, I guess this is a world, and then the -1 would be the level. But all these levels feel a bit short compared to like Mario levels. But maybe I'm just weird. I'm rambling, aren't I? Kinda lost my train of thought. Of course. Yeah, this Red Archer gave me a real scare. I kind of panicked there because he was not really in a good position to take care of, and but I got lucky here or there, and I lived to get to this wave 4. One of the things I don't like about this one is that there's a very low amount of shield loot in the, loot chests. And also I keep, like, losing my shield very quick. Which, yeah. The shields just help you last an extra bit of time. Ooh, that guy killed himself, which is funny, and I did a little bit of a celebration dance. Because even though I probably would have handled him just as easily, I mean, there's still the chance that I'd get over. Yeah. part of the strategy in this game is you gotta like kill the enemies quickly. Part of it's quickly and safely, because when you don't kill them quickly, a whole bunch of them spawn, and you get overwhelmed real fast. Which is why sometimes it's worth sacrificing an arrow to kill those red archers, instead of like, you know, ensuring that you stay on max arrows. Also, that winged guy literally gave me so much trouble for some reason. Like, he wasn't killing me, but he could have very easily, and this was like second to last wave before the boss. So it would have been really annoying to die to him. But, you know, I did it. I kept my cool and survived. That was a little bit scary, but I'm relatively safe up there. I'm just waiting for that guy, that red archer down there, to get out of the way, so that way I can take out that red archer. And now I think I'm waiting for that red archer over there to fall down so I can take care of him. And next, I think I wait a little bit for one of the other red archers to do the same, but eventually I decide I should bait them instead of waiting for them to randomly walk off. Because their paths, when they don't have a target, their path is randomly going left to right, which you can play a waiting game to take care of, or you can just take care of it as soon as, or you can kind of just do a low risk bait. So I figured out that I'll have 6 arrows if I just kill him right now. But nerves are getting to me a little bit at this point. But yeah, this is peak commentary. Anyway, boss time. If you watched me beat the Dark Gauntlet Golden, you know I hate this boss. However, it's pretty fine with wings, which you only get 1 pair of wings, so you have to take care of your wings. And you don't get wings during the Dark Gauntlet, which makes it pretty hard, but Dark Gauntlet, I got that right. But so I'm playing it safe here before I decide, you know what, since it's a lot easier to go with stomps with the wings, because you don't have to perform a dash cancel, which can easily go wrong. You can just fly up. I'm taking this nice and slow, but then I decide maybe it's time to go for stomps, because the longer I'm at this, the more chances I have to die, and I really should. Oh, that gave me a little bit of a scare. These platforms are basically death traps, so if you want to go down the platform, go through it, instead of like walking off the side, you just simply hold down and then press the jump button. However, this game has a mechanic where if you're on the edge of a platform, you'll just slide off of it and be given a few coyote frames. And coyote frames basically make you jump when you're airborne, so when I'm on the edge, I hold down and then very quickly after, intuitively just press jump. And that means that I slide off the edge of the platform and then I jump in midair, which is no bueno when you're trying to go down. Anyways, this is just a little short clip I wanted to show you of a big brain moment. Unfortunately, that wasn't the winning run, so you just get to see that. But anyways, that little opening move where I just dash canceled onto that dude's head was just a little bit of dumb luck. Sometimes I go for crazy moves like that in the very beginning, and most of the times it fails. But since this is, literally a few seconds into the run, it wasn't worth. Yeah, it was failing it would have not caused any harm, so this just happened to be the run that I got golden on. So yeah. This is Thornwood, by the way. Or, not Thornwood, this is Darkwood. Thornwood is pre-DLC. So, this is basically, for some reason, get this. This one's easier than Amaranth, which is not in sense because, you know, you think as you go on to the next world, things should get harder, but in all reality, like, number 3 is supposed to be the hardest, or not supposed to. Number 3 is the hardest for most people, because of, well, number 3 is probably the hardest, but I'm rambling. I'll talk about number 3 difficulty later, but this one's, I think the reason why this one's easier than Amaranth is because of the map layout. I mean, sure, the enemy pools might be easier. Also, I lost my wings there. It's not because of those explodey guys and their explosion burnt my wings. It's because of that imposter archer I killed that happened to be on fire, and I collected the arrow straight out of. That got rid of my wings. But this guy over there is a bit of a doozy to deal with. But I decided, you know, they're pretty stuck right there in that little area. They just kind of stay there until you aggro them, which means that all I have to do is not go to that place, and I'll be a-okay. You know, get some control over my environment here. And yeah, so he made it pretty easy and decided to explode himself. But yeah. Anyways, a funny story. I was like recording this voiceover and my computer just blue screened for some reason. Like CapCut, the video software or video editing software that I'm using and also using to do the voiceover, it's not very optimized, that's the word. It's not very optimized, so you can easily like make your computer blue screen while using this software. But then again, that's the same case for Adobe and like pretty much any other video editing software, so all AO good. But a little, you know, funny that my computer crashed while voiceovering this, commentating. Did I mention that my commentary is trash? So I said in the beginning that don't expect commentary, but what I meant, what I was expecting to happen was that I'd just, you know, my brain would just not commentate and I'd just be silent for most of the time. But what I guess what's actually happening is that my brain is commentating, but it's not making good commentary, so you're just listening to me ramble, and I guess thank you for listening to me ramble, if you are. Or listening to me ramble at 2 times speed, I'm okay with that. You do you. But anyways, yeah, boss fight. This is probably the easiest boss fight in the entire game. And this, you know, the floor becoming inaccessible makes it just a little bit more difficult, which is helpful. it also kind of like makes it hard to notice the telegraphs for when the thorn attack is coming, or where it is coming, when, you know, the thing's up, which usually isn't a problem if you're on the very far left or the very far right of this arena, because those two spots are safe spots, which makes this boss fight even easier. So yeah, there's a little celebration, GG, I beat it. I think the attempts for this, to get this recording, was only in the double digits. This is this easy for some reason, despite having like different enemy banks. Oh, I better stop recording. Here, take it. So, I stopped recording and, you know, restarted recording. I think CapCut is just storing all my audio in RAM, and when I run out of RAM, my computer crashes. So when the timer for my recording hits 7 minutes, I should probably stop. So anyways, this is by most considered the hardest, but because I am stupid or something, the hardest one for me was Dark Gauntlet, which is probably the most consistent fight, because it's just a bunch of bosses that, you know, they're pretty hard, but you can kind of deal with them with enough practice and stuff. But I really don't like this, or this one's really difficult. Okay, what is this? This is Darkfang, I think. The dark version of Frostfang Keep, but its gimmick is these trigger arrows. And basically these trigger arrows are bomb arrows, except you can set them off whenever you please. And the red archers, the most annoying enemy in the game, happens to always come with these things. So actually I think sometimes they come with a shield and no trigger arrows, but that's aside from the point. Also, this also features a lot of explodey stuff in the enemy bank. So you got the bombed wing guys, and the, you know, the explodey guys, the explodey puffers, and then you got the, I forget what they're called. I don't think I have figured out what they're called. I can probably go figure that out, but I'm too lazy right now. I'll do that later. But those flying guys that shoot homing missiles at you, they're not the worst enemy, but they're pretty up there, because when you kill them, I think I already said this in my Dark Gauntlet only golden video, where I did the Dark Gauntlet finally. But those explodey guys, basically when you kill them, they do this final attack, and I'm doing sarcasm quotes with my hands right now, but their final attack is, when you kill them, they just bounce all around the arena randomly, very randomly, and it's extremely unpredictable unless you're like some god at trigonometry and stuff. But yeah, they end a fair amount of golden runs. Oh, that gave me a bit of a scare, but I was able to regain control of the situation. But anyways, yeah, that also gave me a scare. But I handled it. I think I just put that there, wait for him to go for it, I think. and then explode it. Yep. And that red slime almost killed me, which would have been pretty upsetting. But I managed. Anyways. A good strategy is to get rid of those green orbs that, you know, explode when they fall. Because this game has a lot of things you have to predict and keep track of and be on the lookout for. I'm probably just saying the same thing over and over, but basically those explodey orbs are a thing to worry about and a thing you can use to your benefit, like where I used there to explode some enemies quickly. But they can just as easily kill you if you're not if you forget about them or you don't take care of them as quickly as you can, you know, for enemies spawn. But yeah. I think this is the second to final wave, I'm pretty sure. Before the boss. Or level, I mean, wave left. I might as well just call it waves. Even though it does have an actual name, waves just make sense. But anyways, I kind of panicked there and lose a bunch of arrows. So I only have 2 arrows for the boss fight, but I also have wings, which makes basically this boss is now easy mode. Because you have wings. It deals no contact damage. Well, yeah, it deals no contact damage. This is one of the hardest bosses. Either the hardest or the second hardest. Cataclysm probably takes away hardest, but this is definitely the hardest boss. Because shields don't really matter, and it just crushes you and stuff. But with wings, you can just fly up and stomp on his eyeball and deal 2 hits of damage, which is extremely helpful. And, you know, of course I want to preserve these wings, so yeah, avoid catching fire. However, you know, because of the nature of this level, or this world, because of the nature of Darkfang, basically, there's almost no chances of you keeping your wings to the final boss, but if you do get your wings to the final boss, it's easy mode. You're like set for the boss fight. As long as you don't lose it during the final wave, which I almost did there. Or the final phase of this boss, whatever. But now, the only thing I have to worry about now is, I guess, the nerves. So, yeah. This boss takes a while to figure out and get, you know, do well. Also, you want to be careful that, you know, you don't accidentally die after the fact that you beat the boss, which you can do by, like, getting exploded, or the arrows that happen to be latched onto the ice blocks as they explode happen to be right above you and just fall on you, so be careful of that if you're doing that. But afterwards you can celebrate all you want, as long as you don't kill yourself. And I took screenshots here because I was proud. Anyways. Yeah, I did a little bit of a celebration. But now it's time for Cataclysm. So, Cataclysm is, you know, the final-ish world after before Dark Gauntlet, because Dark Gauntlet is really just a boss rush. But for some reason, Cataclysm is confusingly easy. So the way the arenas are arranged make it pretty easy to deal with enemies most of the time. And the fact that it practically serves you arrows on a silver platter, you'll like almost never run dry, except in circumstances where you get unlucky and those little prism crystal shooter guys don't spawn within the first 2 waves, which happen to be here. So instead of easily taking care of this red archer, I had to like do the normal strat. But you know, I did it. Also, wings are pretty helpful for the final boss, especially that one thing, but if you're good at the game and don't worry about nerves or whatnot, you can handle it pretty well without wings. But nonetheless, they're extremely helpful to keep around, and I managed to keep them up until the final boss, which was a bummer. But yeah, anyways. These guys shoot prism arrows, which are arguably the best arrow in the game, and they, you know, shoot out free after death. So I just baited him to get some free arrows, and now, yeah, I got plenty of arrows now. Also, that's probably the most useless chest loot. However, I guess this arena is a little bit hard to deal with because of how it's set up. It's just a little bit hard to deal with, so I guess not going into choke points would be pretty helpful if you're running low on arrows, so that's a pretty useful, somewhat useful, but I honestly would prefer a shield. Also, I think I mentioned that you get tons of shields in the chest loot, which basically every other wave you're getting a shield. Which, oh, that gave me a scare there. Also, you want to be especially cautious about where your prism arrows are falling, because too many times I've shot them upwards, and yeah, it has this weird gimmick where if you kill one of those wing guys that shoot those little tornadoes, or you shoot a red archer, it just deletes their corpse and the arrow just falls, which arrows falling on top of you, not very good. Anyways, yeah, this is the second final. Because of how much prism arrows you get, it's just so easy to deal with them. You just shoot one, make sure that they're in the crystal, and then you know, shoot them again. And they'll almost always dodge, and if they dodge into the crystal, and if, you know, they don't, pretty easy to deal with. Whatnot. Anyways, this boss fight, having a shield going into it, is not ideal because of how the dodging works, or how you dodge this boss, and you can't really dodge with the shield that well. I mean, it would be helpful, however, you can't catch arrows, you can't catch arrows, you can't dash through fireballs, and you can't dash through that spinning saw blade at the bottom, which kind of just defeats the purpose of the shield, and you just lose it anyways. So shields are pretty useless for this boss fight until you get past his first 3 phases. So I think I already mentioned this, but a cool strat for this boss fight is to stock up on arrows while the phase is easy, because the third phase is unbelievably difficult in legendary mode. Basically, he shoots 2 laser arrows at a pace that are hard to dodge, or hard to catch, and you don't be able to catch the second one. He times them just perfectly, or whatnot. So, and also there's 2 spinning saw blades, which, no bueno. But when you, luckily, your quiver happens to be able to hold 6 arrows, and he just happens to have 6 health per phase. So, really important to stock up on arrows and make sure you have enough. I mean, you could stomp on him, but I find that to be pretty inconsistent. And it's easier to just, you know, laser arrow. But anyways, now it's kind of just not a bullet hell, but this game isn't really meant to be bullet hell, so kind of is a bullet. I don't know how to describe it. But I lost my shield there, so I have to be pretty careful here. Make sure I'm making my shots and playing it safe. There's these archers. Yeah, these next ones have shields. Luckily that guy doesn't walk to the left and aggro on me, so I'm able to take care of the one on the left. Usually you want to take care of the one that spawns first, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Anyways, you basically don't get floored for this bit, but you can catch one of your own prism arrows and trap yourself and give yourself a little platform to stand on, which makes that bit a lot easier to dodge or avoid and stuff. So now it's just easy. You know, you just shoot it, and you win. A little bit of a long cutscene here, but, well, not really cutscene, just animation and whatnot. I don't know the lore of this game, but basically I guess you were trapped in the dark world, and now you finally got back from the dark world. I personally just enjoy the shoot lore. You just shoot people. But yeah, anyways. Oh. You know, that's, you get to see a little bit of a failure on the second wave. But anyway, Dark Gauntlet time. And yeah, I hate this boss. Oh! This might be a little bit longer than... I wonder, how many times do I die? I think this is the winning run. Okay. So... yeah, basically this is just boss fight after boss fight after boss fight. In, you know, order. I already commentated on this before. So, yeah, because of the nature of, you know, this boss fight, or because this boss is the first boss you fight in the Dark Gauntlet, I go for riskier plays than I do in the Amaranth, which is definitely stomping him, because stomping can either go in your favor or kill you. But the nice thing is that this is the first level of, or the first boss you have to deal with in Dark Gauntlet, so you don't have to worry too much. Also, I do some practicing here. Dash cancel practicing. The vertical variation, the vertical variety. Because Cataclysm, pretty necessary to be able to dash cancel in a pinch. If you're not doing the Prism Arrow strat. And I need to be prepared for that. But when I go for the, you know, by the time I re-recorded my Cataclysm Golden, I was pretty comfortable with dash cancel, so I didn't have to practice. So yeah, easy boss for a second. It's really the only thing that kills you here is your impatience. You can stand, or, you know, just hide in the corners, the far left and far right corners, and you'll be almost perfectly safe for most of the boss fight. I think there's some rare cases, oh, I just burnt that shield, but luckily, I guess shields don't matter in this, in the next few bosses anyways, so it's fine. But anyways, what was I saying? I already commented on this in the other video. Also, I'm a little hungry right now. I haven't eaten lunch yet. It's like noon or 1. But you know, thing is, if I eat lunch, I procrastinate recording this voiceover stuff. And shut up. Just email from school. Feel free to, you know, hit that arrow key or do the double tap to the right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now this boss fight, you know, a lot harder than it is when you have wings for it. You don't get wings in this Dark Gauntlet. So you're relying on dash cancels for good mobility. Or, you know, good aerial mobility. Where you can just jump out of the way of that, you know, where he does the thing and whatnot. Yeah. This is way harder without wings. But at least you don't have to worry about losing wings. Which, admittedly, you don't actually have to worry about, like, at all. The only thing you have to worry about is for those times when this guy spawns enemies. Those puffers in the Cataclysm fight. And your arrows catching fire when they pass through torches and you happen to dodge into them to catch them. Those are the only times you have to worry about losing your wings, which wings probably would have been OP in this, which is probably why they aren't there. Also, you only get like 3 arrows for the entire thing, which it would be helpful to have a loot chest that gives you arrows in the not Cataclysm, the Wretched Seer boss fight. Because sometimes you end up getting arrows in hard to reach spots, so you have to do a risky move to retrieve them or whatnot. Anyways, because of the nature of, you know, this boss fight, you have you know, like in Lady Abigail boss fight, the corners are your safest spots. However, you're not completely safe, It's just that it's the easiest to dodge. It's super easy to dodge, and you get plenty of time to telegraph when he's gonna trying to smash you in that corner. But those corners, you just have to, when he slams the arrows and, I'm not a public speaker kind of guy. I stutter way too often, but you're the one watching this. I guess if you like that, you like that, but you're probably just focusing on the gameplay, which, fair. But you get commentary, haha. I decided I'm ready for the boss fight when I was able to catch those arrows without using the wall to get up. So, yep. Cataclysm time. Cataclysm. I died a lot to Cataclysm when getting this golden for the first time, and the only time. But he's not that difficult once you kind of... It's mostly nerves, I'd say. You're nervous at this point. You've been doing this for like 7 minutes already, which is about the length of a standard, how long it usually takes. You don't have wings, which really help during this boss fight. Dash cancels, you can pretty easily fail. All that good stuff. So, it's mostly psychological, gotta say. But you know, you just employ all the strategies that you'd use if you weren't having wings during this boss fight. But yeah, I kind of wish that this game had a practice mode where you could practice these boss fights, because like, I mean, you get the 5 continues, but that's it. Like, maybe you could do a practice mode where you get unlimited continues on legendary mode, but when you complete it, doesn't count towards, you know, the golden skull. That would be really nice, but I mean, I guess it's fine. You kind of just deal with it, get good. Something like, maybe like how in Hollow Knight when you encounter Absolute Radiance at the very end of P5, you unlock a way to practice fighting her, which that would kind of be nice. Yeah, but the only... I beat it. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm too hungry to commentate right now, so just enjoy the final moments. I'm gonna eat lunch after this recording ends, or yeah.